Welcome back to the front yard permaculture forest, the food forest. So what I've done here, kind of a new update, I'm adding in these bioswales, they're called, um, where I'm taking just a massive amount of biomass, whatever it might be, horse manure mixed with chicken manure and straw, and then compost, and I'm adding these swales in, these low spots, kind of simulating an actual forest where when a tree falls over, it uproots the soil all the way down to bare soil, but also it adds hundreds, if not 1,000 years of decaying biomass into the soil, into the mixture. And you can see things like sunflowers, things like mallow and purslane. There's some mallow. These things are already taking to the new environment, so that's kind of cool. There's a bunch of sunflowers, nightshade, and we're doing these triple combinations, because in the forest, trees don't grow in a linear pattern like in the Central Valley, how they plant trees so that they grow, so that machinery can get in there and harvest. I don't care about that. I'm going to walk out here and pick fruit and vegetables and train vines up these trees like grapevines and kind of mix it up so that it's more like a jungle of edible food. Another term is also called copising. Starting a copising garden. And eventually, it's maybe not showing the best on the camera, but I'm going to connect this high spot to this lower swale and isolate some of these swales so that they actually act like a tree well from a fallen tree in a windstorm. And then also I wanted to mention, I was talking about how we get 2 growing seasons in California. So it's October, 14th, and our trees are blossoming and growing again. Look over here. Peppers are growing like crazy. Artichokes are growing like crazy. Heirloom tomatoes won't quit. I've hacked them back over and over again. They're just going for it. So I just keep them low and productive. Corn starting to bolt. Chard's going crazy. So this fall, I'm not going to get enough food to really eat. It's all about saving seeds and propagating new cuttings. So if those blossoms over there fruit, I'm going to pull the fruit off right away. Orange trees coming back. That's just feedback loops. The more feedback loops you add into your system, the better. So I don't want water to sheet off when it rains and penetrate just a few inches or a foot deep into the soil. I want it to sheet down and collect in these swales, these low spots. They're going to be little miniature ponds when it's raining out. Now water's going to seep down into the soil, and then seep underneath the bioswale into this organic material. And then when it does overflow, it's going to overflow by the trunk of the trees because I'm designing in the low spot to be where the trees are. So I'm going to capture the soil or capture the water to the sides of the trees so they don't overwater them. And then once that fills up and overflows, it overflows and waters the tree on its way to the next bioswale. And that way we're capturing and injecting water into our forest. And these trees are speaking for themselves. I mean, this peach tree over here I planted this spring. It's already almost 8 feet high. I've had to cut it back a time or two, And so I planted a little because this one's leaning back a little bit and there's room for this one. So what is that little pixie cot? Dual cherry. So it's going to be cool. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'll keep you guys updated. Got a lot of fruit this year. A lot of peaches, a lot of plums, a lot of pears. More than we can handle even. Went to hydrating them and canning them. My wife's mom's really helped out a lot with that. I mean, the cactus is starting to fruit. Beehives are doing good. So and we're just getting started here. So the more feedback loops you add, the better. Companion planting. I have a problem with moles chewing the roots off of my plants. So I plant highly astringent plants like lavender, like rosemary, anything that gophers don't want to chew on. And then I'm also caging in the root base with chicken wire, making chicken wire baskets, and planting plants that might be at risk of the gophers chewing up their roots. But then companion to that is an elderberry tree. So I can't tell you how good this has worked. I know that anywhere where I plant an elderberry, it seems to protect the plant next to it, because the roots of the elderberry are high in cyanide toxin, and the gophers can't tell which root is which when they're digging through the soil, and they hit those elderberry roots and it makes them sick. That's my theory anyway. That's the whole idea behind this companion planting. So that elderberry is doing great. So I'm gonna have to prune them so those get along, or pick one or the other. So it might end up that the elderberry stays and the pomegranates turn into cuttings and get propagated into new trees. But that's how that's working. So elderberry, pomegranate, elderberry, pomegranate. This lemon verbena I took from a cutting at work, and it's doing awesome. Lemon verbena. So yeah, overall the cuttings are taking pretty well. A few of them didn't make it. It's to be expected. Put everything up on the table where it's easier to work. So I got cactus, lots of pomegranates, because I want to specialize in at least one type of fruit. Pomegranates are really easy to make wine with, and their harvest is really late in the year. So the perimeter, or the largest surface area of the yard, is getting cactus and pomegranate. So that's it for now. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and mark in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer. Bye-bye for now.